Mr. Hartgrave here with the Pestilence Scourge Guide. That's right, I'm going to try to give you the best information on what to build, the minimum to build to get 1 million points on the Pestilence Scourge. Before we get started, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, share this around to anyone that you might think it would be useful to. And at any time, if you feel like leaving a comment, please let me know how you feel down in the comments below. All right, moving on to what I'm talking about today. So I released a video yesterday about how to get like 1.5 million points on the Scourge, because that's what I needed. As an in-game player, I have my 7 stars on Morgan Le Fay. So my goal was to get 1.5 million points. So I wanted to share with you what I used to do that. However, as I was doing it, I realized that I was really straying away from, what was advisable to build at this time. There's a lot of the stuff I was using was legacy characters. I was using a lot of older characters. I wasn't using what is like currently meta, what makes sense to build to tier 16 and 17, horseman characters, and using Dark Hunters. Using Dark Hunters for one felt kind of out of place because that's nowhere on here. There's nowhere I'm telling people to build Dark Hunters. I want to know if this can be beaten without Dark Hunters. We're going to find that out today. Let's go ahead and get into this and show you the run. I'll talk you through it, and then we'll go after mission number 10 just with my web warriors, because web warriors are still on my list of things to build. We need them for raids, so it still makes sense to build them out at tier 15, level 90. You can push them up in levels. That's not going to take away from gear. All right, let's go ahead and get into this and show you the run. So I did this on difficulty 7. And when we beat node 10, we will have 1 million points, which is going to be the benchmark for a lot of players who are, I'd say, mid-game. Mid-game right now, you just want to get 1 million points. Beginners really want to aim, just try to get that 500,000 points. And then end-game players want to get 1.5 million. And, sky's the limit from there. But you mid-game players, you really want to get 1 million points on this. So we're running 70 points of Scourges. We're running quality minions because it doesn't matter. A lot of the same Scourges that I ran yesterday, but a few less. I ran a 90-point Scourge to get 1.5 million points. My best run here was on difficulty 8, but we were able to lower it down to difficulty 7, which makes it easier, which is great, so that we can use less teams. We're only going to use 5 teams to get through this. 25 characters are only needed to get through this. And really, you might even be able to get it lower than that by taking what I'm doing here and optimizing it out a little bit. You're going to have to check it out on your own, but let me try to help you get there. We're using Poison Energy 2, we're using Power Fatigue 1 and 2, and we're using 2 Clever. And that's it. That's all the Scourges we got to put on. They haven't really messed with me too much at all. You can probably use a different blend, but yeah, the key point is you want to get to 1 million points, so you're going to need to run about 70 points of Scourges. All right, getting through what I did on each node. And let me go ahead and switch over to this screen so you can better see the teams that I used. All right, for mission number 1, I used Unlimited X-Men, just Unlimited X-Men. And I also used them for mission number 2. For mission number 1 and 2, all I used was Unlimited X-Men. The key to being able to do this, I found, was you want to make sure that on node number 1, you only use basic attacks. So on node number 1, you only use basic attacks, and that way when you go into node number 2, you have all your ultimate attacks saved up, and really easy, actually, much easier than I thought it would be. Here, let me go ahead and show you what my team is built to give you an idea so you can benchmark this out if you want to be able to do node 1 and 2. Now, I do have most of them, I think I have most of them up to level 89. I have Rogue up to level 90. I think they're going to work at even lower levels than that, though, because they really did walk over this. So you might have more, variants. You might have to restart it more times if they're at lower levels. As far as tier 4s, we are maxing most of them out. We are maxing out most tier 4s, but we have low stars. I'm free to play. I didn't buy any offers for any of these characters. Now, I do have a 7-star Rogue, which is going to be, not a lot of people are going to have that, but I'm telling you, I think even if you got her at 5 stars, you're going to be able to work through this. I'm missing the ultimate tier 4 for Phantomix. Doesn't seem to matter. I think that's actually the only... Okay, and I'm missing a couple of tier 4s off of Sunfire as well, but we have them all on Dazzler. So we didn't do the basic or passive on Sunfire. I mean, really, with these Horseman teams, it makes sense to kind of just max out their abilities anyways, because you're already taking them up to the highest levels in the game, if that's kind of what you're on track to do. If you're skipping Horseman teams, then this section, you might kind of be... What you're going to want to do actually is use Bionic Avengers. Now, I don't have Bionic Avengers because I'm skipping Bionic Avengers and building the end game. But if you have the Bionic Avengers, this is going to be a great spot to use them because they're all hero characters. So they're going to work out great for you. I don't know if you can run both nodes on that. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. If you got them, let me know what you're doing. All right, the next section. And this is something that I was doing in the previous run as well. I was using Wakanda on mission number 3. We're using Wakanda again here, except it worked so well this time. It worked so well this time that I was able to roll right into mission number 4. And you can use all the abilities. I didn't have to just use basics the first time around. Basically, once Black Panther gets a kill, it's all easy from there because he'll just keep killing people and extending turn bar. Still don't have my 6 red on Black Panther. All right, let me go ahead and show you the Wakanda team so you can kind of benchmark that as well. Okay, here is the Wakanda team. Yeah, we're just at level 89, just at level 89. But anyways, they rolled through this really, really easy. The key here, the bigger your Black Panther, the easier things are going to be. Really, Black Panther and Okoye are going to anchor this team. But yeah, I would suggest building this team up. All players should have a huge Wakanda team. It's becoming a must. Cosmic Crucible is only going to become more important and more involved. And Wakanda is going to be a staple of that. There's only 6 teams. Wakanda is going to be one of them. I guess there's only 12 teams if you count defense as well. I think at some point, Wakanda probably will become a staple Cosmic Crucible defense team when we have too many offense teams to use. But for right now, it's going to win you a lot of Cosmic Crucible. And as we see, it's going to win you some Scourge as well. All right. And then for node number 5, I mean, you all know node number 5. That's going to be Web Warriors. Let me go ahead and pull up Web Warriors, my Web Warriors, and show you what happened with them. I had a very easy time on this. This whole run, no resets really. No resets needed. Not a whole lot of randomness to it. It was pretty straightforward. Got the whole thing done in under an hour easy. And this is my Web Warriors. So now I did take a lot of these to tier 16 before the Saga information came in. I don't advise that anymore, but I don't think it's needed. I think just at tier 15, it's probably going to increase how much luck you're going to need to get through it. 7 reds on Spider-Punk. Not something, it's just something I got lucky with. Nothing I would recommend buying. If you were going to put red stars on this team, for whatever reason, I would go with Ghost Spider. I think that she's the most important to kind of have those red stars on. Scarlet Spider would also be great, but his stars are really hard to come across anyways, so I can't even put a 5th red star on him, and I'm still making through this just fine. I'm doing high Scourge runs on level 8, even with that Scarlet Spider, and he's working out just fine. I do like this Isotope 8 setup. I would recommend using that if you're struggling. It does work very, very well. And that brings us to the villain nodes. All right, for both villain nodes, I used the same team, and I didn't want to use Dormammu on this at all, because I'm not advising people to go after Dormammu anymore, and I don't think he's needed. This team is so good. Morgan Le Fay, Agatha, Doctor Strange Heartless, Doctor Doom, and Emma. Honestly, I didn't really even use Doctor Doom, so you probably don't even need Doctor Doom to pull this off, which is good news for those of us out there who are maybe mid-game and trying to go after this Horseman stuff. It's very easy to skip a large portion of the roster. It really is dead. There's 200 characters in the game, but really only maybe 50 of them are viable in the end game. So that is easy to get away with. I did use the trick where on mission number 6, I only used basic attacks. And then on mission number 7, that's when I let all the ultimate attacks go, and the node was over before I was done. It was probably the easiest section of the whole raid. Let me go ahead and show you my team so you can benchmark it. All right, here is my villain roster. I do have an insane Morgan Le Fay. I'm sure that's a help, but even at low stars, she's just about the same effectiveness. The high stars make it even easier. Like I said, this was the easiest section because I was just leaning on this gigantic Morgan Le Fay. But I don't think it matters. Dr. Doom, really didn't even use him, but here he is anyways. Not much reason to build Dr. Doom anymore, but you know, he is really great to lean on. And yeah, if the rest of the team is weaker for you, then using Dr. Doom is probably a really good idea if you have him unlocked, but if not, you can probably get through without him. Doctor Strange Heartless, once again, these are at low stars, same thing with Agatha Harkness. We do have 5 stars on both of them. They are 5 red. We are maxing out abilities on these characters, absolutely for Horseman teams, absolutely for Darkhold in general. We want to max that out. For Emma, this is probably the most underpowered character I've taken into all of the Scourge as only tier 15, level 80. Yeah, not much going on with Emma. She's really just there to lower speed. I think she barely took turns. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Cosmic area. Okay, for Cosmic, once again, I just used the same team for both nodes. The main thing to use here is you want Icarus behind Thanos. So Thanos over there in the corner, Icarus right behind him, and then nothing else really matters. You got to have Cersei there too. I threw in Gamora and Nebula just to kind of show that you really only need Thanos and Icarus. What this did is kind of enlighten me though as far as Thanos in this game. I don't think you need him built up big, but I would unlock him. I would raise him to gear tier 15. I think all characters should have him as a tool in your toolbox, especially for Scourge runs. This trick where you put Icarus behind Thanos is so good because what Icarus can do is just unlimited ultimate. He'll ultimate, he'll kill a bunch of people, Thanos will feed him all the energy back, next turn he just goes again. I didn't have to hold back abilities, I didn't have to only use basics because I basically stayed recharged the whole time. And yeah, Nebula and Gamora really didn't matter in there. I just throw them in there. I didn't want to use Dormammu. I didn't want to use any other stuff. Let me go ahead and show you where I have these characters at so you can benchmark them. And then if you're pushing, you know, if you're like, oh, I can't get through this section, well, maybe you can just take these 5 characters, raise them up, and get through that section. That's kind of the idea of why I'm making this video. So hopefully it can help you in that way. All right, Gamora, I have her over leveled. Like I said, she's not even needed for this though. Like she barely took a turn. She took like 2 turns. It didn't matter. Like the main thing that matters is your Icarus on this. The bigger your Icarus, the better. Nebula's insane. Once again, barely did anything. She was just a placeholder. I wouldn't worry about raising them up. And then Thanos really just has to be there. You know, he can't die. You need him to stay alive. But yeah, you don't need 7 red stars on him. You don't need him, you know, maxed out levels. Raise him up a little bit until he doesn't die, and then that's plenty. He's just there to feed energy to Icarus. Now, Icarus is the one I would take all the way up. He's one of my first characters to take to level 90. You need to keep this guy running. We can't afford to take him to tier 16 anymore right now, given the information that we have. So you can hold off on that. But at tier 15, he should still do what he does. The hardest part, of course, is getting stars on him because he's not farmable, but maybe someday he will be. And then, yeah, Cersei's there too. I raise her up in conjunction with Icarus, but you know, I don't think it's necessary. If you got the Icarus, then you're good to go. All right, so those are the teams that I used. Those are the only teams that I used. If you're going to hyper focus on just a few characters to kind of get a better score on this Pestilence Scourge, remember it keeps coming around. So this is something to strive for. This is what you want to do. If you got 500,000 points, you want to get 1,000,000 points. If you got 1,000,000 points, get ready to get 1,000,000.5 when you finally get the character maxed out. Those are kind of the metrics that you're going to use as you go through the Pestilence Scourge. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can beat Node 10 with these Scourges applied, just using Web Warriors with no Dark Hunters, because I'm not suggesting anybody build Dark Hunters for this. I'm normally suggesting that people actually skip building any teams that are required for Node 5 and Node 10, because it's a waste of resources, quite honestly. If you can get around to it at some point, if you can free up those resources, great. This is one of the exceptions, though, as Web Warriors is being, it's very stable in the Doom raids. I'm using it on the Doom raid 3.4, and it doesn't show any signs of stopping. So I'm glad they haven't killed this team off. It's still viable. You can still build it. All right, let's see. Man, yesterday I thought this was going to be easy, and then it took me a full hour to get through it, but I left node 5 fully charged. All my abilities. I have stuns. I have ultimates. I should be good to go. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I will not have to edit too much here. I just want to show you the attack. It's going to be really hard. I think it's still going to be really hard to get through this in just one attack. That is kind of crazy. I'm going to do the ultimate attack with Scarlet Spider because he has offense up and I want to heal everybody. So I'm just going for it. Big damage too. With that offense up, I damn near wiped out the wave, which would have been better, but I'll take it. All right, we'll come in with Miles. And I'm not going to use Ghost Spider's ultimate, but we are going to kill Thanos. Now I do have a stun. I think I want to use it on Magic. And Magic resisted me. So right there, it feels like I might have to reset, but I don't know. We'll see. The weird targeting bug is still in effect. If you notice here, Colossus has taunt, but I'm still stuck on Magic. I don't even think I can switch off of her. I'm going to hold the Spider-Punk ultimate until he has offense up or at least does not have offense down. So we're just going to go ahead and basic into Magic. Because really killing Magic before her turn would be so great because I do not want to get those charges on Storm. We got those charges on Storm. At least I think so. Yeah, no, she didn't give any charges to Storm. I don't know what's up with that. Anyways, maybe I misunderstood the way that works. Well, I'm glad she didn't give charges to Storm because that would suck. All right, we killed Midnight. And I have offense up and offense down on Ghost Spider. I'm going to hold the ultimate. I was tempted to use it there, but there's a lot to get through. Now, I do have offense up and offense down on Spider-Punk, and I think this is a good time to use his ultimate, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that here. I kind of hoped it would do more than that, but I'm going to have to take what I get. And I got to be ready for when Phoenix drops. Okay, we're going to hit this special with Spider-Man and hopefully get offense down or defense down on a lot of people. My Web Warriors are holding up pretty good. And now Phoenix is here. Really at the wrong time. I really need to do more damage. I think I'm going to have to reset. I also have to be careful around here so that I don't die. Let's see. I am going to go for the special with Scarlet Spider, just to hopefully chain around here a little bit. I was able to kill off Cyclops, so that is good. We really need to get rid of Magic before we kill. Okay, good. We got rid of Magic. That is awesome. Now we have offense up on Ghost Spider plus her ultimate. I'm actually going to try to ability block Phoenix, which I failed to do. But that's okay. I'm going to give myself a pass on it. We are going to just basic with Spider-Punk into Colossus and hopefully get rid of him here. All right, Colossus is gone. I'm actually feeling pretty good about this. We're holding up very, very well. Now, if you do have Dark Hunters, of course, use them. Sack the node. Make it a little bit easier for yourself. But we're really trying to look at a world where that doesn't exist for us. Oh, this is ugly. I'm getting ready to quit out of the node any moment here. We really have to kill Dark Phoenix. Okay, I got to quit out of this node. All right, what I'm going to do here is that's the general strategy I'm going to use. I'm going to transition into, you thought I was going to cut there. I didn't cut there. I'm going to come back when I have a run that is, I think, where we get to this point in a better, when we do it better and then I'll tell you how many tries it took me to get it better. But that's the general idea of how we're going to play it. I'm not going to make you watch me do this for an hour if it takes, God, I hope it doesn't take an hour. All right, transition. Okay, we are back. And this is just the next run. It's actually just the next run I did, and it's already going much better. So Phoenix has dropped, and I was able to kill a lot more characters and stay healthier. I'm going to go ahead and use the Ghost Spider Ultimate now. I'm targeting Colossus. It's going to kill Magic, hopefully, and put me in a good spot. So let's go for it. I killed Phoenix. I killed Magic. I killed Glaive. That's huge. Glaive can be a real pain in the butt, man. If you watch my other video from yesterday, you'll know what a pain in the butt Glaive can be. He kept deleting me left and right. All right, we're going to go for the special from Spider-Punk, hoping he works his way over there. We did kill out Cyclops, so that's very good. I feel like this is a win. We got Psylocke killed too. That was awesome. We're going to go ahead and basic with Scarlet Spider, hoping to get a defense down on Phoenix. Wonderful, we got it. And I just want to get Phoenix dead. Spider-Man will get rid of Colossus, and there it is. So there it is. Yeah, no, much less painless, much less painful, painless than the run I did last night on the trying to get 1,000,000.5. So 1,000,000 points, if you have the stuff you really should be building up to the highest levels, should be pretty obtainable. If not this time around, hopefully by the next time it comes around, you can get your teams closer to, what you're seeing here and be able to easily get this 1,000,000 points. And then you're going to want to keep getting this every time it comes around, get the 1,000,000 points so you max out the milestone, get as many shards as you can get until you graduate up to having 7 stars on, Morgan Le Fay. And then you get to experience the hell that is trying to get 1,000,000.5 points every time around. All right, you can trust me on that. I'm Mr. Hargrave. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. And Grave Diggers, keep digging. Myself, keep slipping.